All right, guys, Maskerade. So if you like Phantom of the Opera and I guess Tuxedo Mask, you might actually like this book.
Thank you to my patrons for supporting the channel and making it the best it can be.
Hey, fantasy fans, welcome back. It's Dan here with TreeBeard Book Reviews, and I'm back with another review. We're going to be reviewing Maskerade by Terry Pratchett. This is the 18th book in the Discworld. Guys, before we get into the review, I just want to say, welcome back and welcome to all the new people who are watching the video. Hope you're enjoying this Discworld content. I do have a big backlog of Discworld reviews now. I recently also read The Color of Magic, and I'm reading Small God, so there's more Discworld to come as always. Really excited to do this review. I do just want to mention, I do have a Discord channel. There is a link below if you wanted to, engage with me. The community is still growing. We got a few hundred people on the Discord now. You're always welcome to join. Like I said, the link's down below. I do also have a Patreon account. If you're interested in becoming a patron, you can, support the channel, and that just, helps make the channel as best as it can be. So anyways, guys, that's enough of that. Let's talk Maskerade. All right, so Maskerade. So as I said, 18th book in the Discworld. I think this is the 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the 5th book in the Witches books now. So this is actually a really good entry, and it was a different Witches book. I really like where we kind of start off. So, we actually start off with a new character. Well, she's not a new character. You've seen her before, I believe, in Lords and Ladies. Her name is Agnes Knit. So she is a Lancre girl. She's left Lancre to go seek her fortune in Ankh-Morpork. And, she actually ends up at the Opera House because she does have a wonderful voice, and she's trying to, just break away from the mold. She doesn't think she wants to be a witch. And so she's kind of left the eyes of Granny Weatherwax and Nanny Ogg. So Agnes is a really great character. I really enjoyed her character in this book. She actually kind of has like a split personality a little bit, where she's she has her Agnes self and then also her stage persona that she portrays. So I really like this book. This book really kind of focuses on having a hidden self and the masks you wear. That's why it's called Maskerade. Yeah, Agnes is a great character to have in this book. She's not very confident. She's not very sure of herself. She kind of likes to be shy and stay in the background, but you can see the power she has just in terms of her voice, in terms of her character, and in terms of her conviction. I really liked Agnes's character, and I'm glad that she has taken the place of actually Magrat Garlic in this book. Because Magrat, she was one of the 3 coven of the Lancre coven, but she got married, so she can't be, her witchly duties kind of take a backseat. So she's that's why kind of Agnes is fleet a little bit, thinking that, these other witches are going to come for me and try and get me into their coven. So I really like her foresight. Agnes is a great character. And so then we, get on with the other characters. We have Nanny Ogg and Granny Weatherwax. As always, again, they realize that they need a 3rd witch to make the coven whole. And again, they represent really like the mother with Granny Ogg, the crone with Granny Weatherwax, and they need the maiden. The maiden's missing, and now with Magrat being married, she's no longer a maiden, so they need to kind of fill that role. And they find with it's just the 2 of them, they just fight and argue all day, so they need that 3rd witch to balance them out. They realize that. And so there's actually a funny kind of thing that happens in this book with the witches, where Nanny Ogg makes it big as a cookbook author, which is funny because Nanny Ogg doesn't cook. She has a slew of daughters-in-laws to do the cooking for her in her house. But she wrote this funny cookbook, which I actually own. I own the Nanny Ogg's cookbook. It's packed away right now, obviously, but it's super funny. So they find out, Granny convinces Nanny that you've been swindled, you've been underpaid, and they have to go to Ankh-Morpork. And so on their adventures, they meet some very interesting characters. They meet Henry Slug, or he's kind of going under the name of Enrico Basilica. He's I guess he's an opera singer. He's like a tenor. He's kind of, you know, spoofing on like Pavarotti a little bit, or Luciano Pavarotti. He was a famous tenor. He's long dead now. But yeah, so he's like this big fat guy who just eats everything in sight, and he was really funny, Henry Slug. I'm not gonna give too many spoilers, but there's some great stuff when Nanny Og and Granny Weatheraxe are traveling, because they're so funny when they travel. So yeah, they're fantastic. And then they get to the opera house, and this is where really the Phantom of the Opera plot kind of comes into play. So there's an opera ghost at the opera house, and you know, he is haunting the opera house and committing murders. So there is some, you know, there's a lot of mystery kind of going on in this book, a lot of tongue-in-cheek, and a lot of, you know, spoofs on the Phantom, spoofs on the opera industry. You know, a lot of the old it's not over till the fat lady sings kind of jokes. But it's a really fun book. It's nice to see the witches in Ankh-Morpork. They haven't really been back to Ankh-Morpork, or Granny hasn't been back to Ankh-Morpork since Equal Rights. So I really enjoyed it. It almost felt like, you know, Weird Sisters. 'Cause it seemed like Terry took another swing at Weird Sisters, and he got it right. Because Weird Sisters really isn't my favorite Discworld novel, but this one was really good. It was really funny. There were some brilliant moments, you know, where Nanny Og and Granny are in Ankh-Morpork at the opera doing some investigations on who the opera ghost is, how to stop him. And it's great. It's really good. And then there's also this other character, Christine, who she's her father's a rich patron of the opera house, and she's only really there because she's very attractive and her father's a rich patron. And it's funny because it's really spoofing on the character of Christine from Phantom of the Opera. So it's great, guys. This is a really fun Discworld book. It's, you know, it's not set in Loncre anymore. The witches are out of their comfort zone. The witches are they're split. They're not as powerful as they usually are because they aren't in their coven. So I really enjoyed this book. I had a lot of fun with all the characters. I had a lot of fun with all the plot. I just dug the whole story, and it's like any Discworld book. It's quite short. It's really quippy. I read it, I think, in 3 sittings. Last month was a pretty crazy month. June, it's still June. It was a pretty crazy month, just because I was finishing up my master's. So I was really happy to read this one. I highly recommend it. It's one of the stronger of the Witches books for sure. I don't know if it would beat out Lords and Ladies or Witches Abroad. If I were to rank them, that's tough. Like, if I were to rank the Witches books to what I've read to date, it would probably be Witches Abroad, Lords and Ladies, Maskerade, Weird Sisters. No, Equal Rights, Weird Sisters. Yeah, it was good. It's really good. I think to give this one a rating too, I'm going to give this one TreeBeard seal of approval. It's excellent. It's just the witches on form, the witches doing everything you like, and just throwing in some new characters, changing up the dynamic a bit. You know, that's kind of what I like about Terry. He doesn't keep the Discworld static. It's really dynamic. You know, the witches are evolving. They're learning new things. They're trying new things, but they've also got this iron in their mind where they can just cripple anyone else. And you just love seeing that mental fortitude of the witches. You can see Terry just has so much fun with when he was writing the witches. They just put they're a different headspace than all the other characters in the Discworld. So yeah, that's it, guys. Maskerade. I highly, if you like the Discworld, this is probably a great one you could pick up. You know, if you're an opera fan, if you're a theater fan, just because like it's just super fun. It's just, like I said, if you liked the Phantom of the Opera, you will like this book. And this is one that could be really read like standalone-ish. You don't really need to have the events of Lords and Ladies and Witches Abroad, especially because they tell you McGrath got married, so you know they need a new witch, and you don't really need to see Agnes from Lords and Ladies to have this book. So anyways, guys, yeah, that is Maskerade. It's a great book. Pick it up, you know, join the Discord and talk to me about it. I love to chat Discworld, and any opportunity I get to talk Discworld is a great time for me. So anyways, guys, thank you all for watching, and we'll see you next time. Cheers.